1, 2, 3, 4, go. I make my living off the evening news, expat vloggers, and living in the Philippines. Just give me something I can use. People love it when you lose. They love dirty laundry. Well, I could have been on radio, but I wound up YouTube here. I just have to edit well and search all day. Send me an email or call, come and whisper in my ear. Give us dirty laundry. Kick them when they're up, kick them when they're down. Kick them when they're up, kick them when they're down. Doesn't matter what island you're on. Philippines should have been heaven, but you ended up on my page. Should have stayed off YouTube and just play on the beach instead. We got the age gap couple, the odd couple, broke expats who comes on at 5. They can tell you about how they loves it with a gleam in their eyes. It's interesting when people lie. Give us dirty laundry. Can we film the operation? Is political or not? You know the boys in the newsroom got a running bet. Get the widow on the set. We need dirty laundry.
Hey, good morning. What's up? What's up? What's up? Actually, that was going to be part of the situation here. I'm trying to get myself together. Wait for some people to gather in the room before we get going on the week's wrap up. Let's see. We will be covering some of the stories we did this week with the I don't know what I want to call the vlogger at this point. I don't know if he's just narcissistic. I don't know if the vlogger was just like way into himself and just gets off on like making things up and just doing content because it's what he does. But we have what I call the lying blogger about saying that he was on food stamps, and a couple of his other videos, he flat out was saying, like right here, that his girlfriend was trying to get free meals when he was taking her out to the mall, and he said it was a $300 meal. Maybe he meant pesos, but we're going to cover this vlogger, and we have a breakdown of the clips. We're going to talk a little bit about the ATM and the American in Mindanao that was robbed, and there is a new statement out from the it's very confusing, so there's not a whole lot to it, but that was what was covered this week, was the American that had his life, he was unalived. We had the Russian beauty queen, not a whole lot of updates on that. And also John Tewell, we had covered that gentleman probably about 2-3 weeks ago, the one that puts he like restores the photos and puts them up and preserves them for the Philippines, and he's been here quite a while. And then about a year and a half ago, his bank went south and he was not able to reconnect this account. And he knew he was broke a year and a half ago, but still stayed in the Philippines. I know his wife had problems. He might have been unhealthy and unable to travel. He did sadly pass away. So I believe, I'm trying to think where I posted something. Oh, I think I updated the video itself, but I haven't put a post out. But he did sadly pass away on February the 11th. And I know he leaves behind a wife, and there's some adult children in the United States. For those that missed our Valentine's Day, it is still Valentine's Day for those that are in the United States. George and I went out to eat in a breakfast. We went to the Croissant Papanga. It's a really nice high. I wouldn't say like it's expensive. So it's kind of one of those high-end la-di-da places, but it had it's US prices. And actually some of it's a little bit more, but it's really great. It had great food. It was the one a few weeks ago I started cutting back on like sugar by like 90%, 98%. And the doctor is really just laid into me. And I should have done it a long time ago, but he put me on some new meds. I'm feeling a little better, but I wanted to have like one, solid meal. So of course I had eggs and the croissants, and they have a lot of sweets there. But we did that, and George had got me balloon flowers. He got me my Luby Lube is what we call it, and we got a chain for a girl over here, Pink Lube, Pinky Lube. We're gonna call her Pinky Lube and Blue Luby Lou over here. So it's Blue Luby Lou and Pinky Luby Lou. And of course, we got our toast as a guest today. George is at the family home today, so he went out to go run tasks. He's dropping off laundry, and he's heading to deal with some stuff this morning. So here I am. I thought he was going to join, but he is on his way to be with his uncle, so it's kind of vital. So you guys are stuck with me today. So that's pretty much what I have, and again, we got some clips. And oh, did I get around to saying Geo? I digress. I'm hyped on caffeine. Geo on his other channel, some aren't aware that he has 2 or 3 other channels. I know he's got at least 3. I think there's 3. I know 2, 3. I think there's a third one. He actually, on Valentine's Day, released a mechanical machine for the lonely guys, and he put it on his Amazon. So it's to make money. And we discussed that yesterday. I have a short clip of this self love. Hey, I'm all about self love and reflection. Sometimes I reflect, sometimes I don't. But it seems to be that all in itself. Let me know, guys, where you're at today. I have not put the banner on. Sorry about that. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. There we go. Beings, it's just me today. And I want to let you guys know, just as a reminder, sometimes when me and George get going back and forth, I can, think about things off on the side note. But if you guys need to reach out to us, we've always been open like that. I want to remind people, although we cover expat drama, although we cover life in the Philippines, our everyday life, and then we do expat help. That's what our second channel is. We do have a channel called Expatainment. They're watching dual broadcast this morning, so a shout out to our sister channel. And that you guys can contact us. We're clearly all over Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on X. It's just so weird calling it X. And so we're on all the social media platforms we have for a while. And then of course Messenger. You guys will be able to reach out there, or always email. We get lots of emails, we get messages, we go through. Sometimes we're behind, but reach out, guys, if you guys need to ask additional questions. A lot of people do, or honestly, a lot of you, and we appreciate it, drop us stuff about what's going on with other expats and things that are going on. That's where a lot of our things come in. So trying to do 2 or 3 things. And how was your Valentine's Day? Sound check, sound check. Oh, that's why I'm trying to figure out why I can't get into. It's 2 different views here when I open up the channel, and I was stuck in music for YouTube. We were listening to like inside of our stuff, we have a playlist. Like if you guys look at our playlist, there's a music playlist, and it's got like 70s, 80s, 90s. There might even be some stuff from the 40s in there. And we listen to it. I believe it's called Antics Wake Up. And so we play that, and I was stuck in that this morning. All kinds of stuff going on in the news. The biggest thing they've been talking about in the news right now is Social Security. And I tried to sit down the last few days and do a Social Security video and a VPN and just a lot of things going on. A virtual private network, which is important. You guys really need to get one. And with that, they've been talking about Social Security everywhere. So now they're saying the biggest part of fraud is in Social Security. Surprise. Most of it is coming from Medicare. And where the like paperwork, like overcharging and paperwork submitted, a bunch of people. I don't even know what the deal is on Social Security right now on the thousands and thousands that are saying they're over a certain age or over 100, and so that's where all of the fraud and stuff has come in. So, but that's been all over the news. I just noticed that there's this guy. Have you guys seen the blind billionaire guy that talks about Social Security? I seen him, but I thought it was just blind to billionaire. But blind to, I just thought maybe I didn't know the guy was actually blind. It looks like he is. Can you collect Social Security for being blind with an unlimited income, guys? I'm curious on that too because I just thought about it. He's giving help on that and everything else, and I don't know. Can you have unlimited income and still collect a disability? I don't know. So, or blind. I actually I know blind is a little different. I'm not going to pretend that I know everything about Social Security, but I know. I don't think so. I mean, I know there's a. Who knows? Yeah, there's just so much going on in the news right now. We had somebody that asked about Q's adventure because I see it's down here. I'm just going through some of my emails, and someone asked about Q's adventure. Actually, there's a few, but they've asked. Q did respond. For those that don't know, he did an update video sometime probably in the last week and a half, and um, Q basically did a video where he showed himself at a massage and at the beach and things are okay. And he did a very major smoke and mirror, like, hey, nothing's going on and this and that. But yet, people who were living at some point in his house, people who live in his neighborhood all come forward talking. We've gotten messages, and there were actual people that we've done chats with that told us a bunch of stories and said they lived in his rentals and stuff. The whole point is they said a bunch of stuff. Again, it could all be like he said, she said, and all of that. But there's a lot going on with Q. They're saying he has issues back in the U.S. They're saying he's got legal issues in the U.S. still. He has his own things going on there, allegedly. And I have to say that. But he blamed that young kid, said he was a druggie and that he was just an ex-employee that was scorned, and he tried to pay him 15,000 pesos to be a multi-manager, which, by the way, is underpaid. If he was doing his job and he's constantly like answering comments, promoting, pushing the videos and doing all the right things, that would be an underpayment for a manager to do multi-channels. It was including her channel. But he just kept, it was like a blame game back and forth. And he kept saying, my trolls are after me and this and that, which is probably one of us beings we covered him. And that's not really, I mean, I guess in a sense it is trolling him. But we didn't go in and leave comments and give him a hard time, or that we just covered him as a story because of the, alleged not paying the kid taxes and the other issues he's having. And the things with the girls that were going on and him not giving out the money allegedly that was being given to him. But he, of course, isn't going to discuss this, and he didn't discuss it after Sunshine Shoulder's appearance. And in saying that, Q just basically just chucked it up to the kid as just an annoying employee. And of course, he says, I'm not going to keep addressing this, but then he kept addressing it for 36 minutes, still kept addressing it, and like, like, whatever. And he did. And he's saying, I'm not going to talk about this again. I said, He goes, he knows the other kid, John, is going to continue. And that's it. So that's the end of Q. I can't handle his channel as far as the way it's everything about the channel that I could never understand. Or, some people don't like watching ours. I don't like watching his. And that's just the way it is. So that's the end of Q's adventure. But I believe it was this week that he actually went through there. And beings I've seen this is, let me start going through the comments. Like I said, I do have clips of, I do have some of the original clips because I believe the American being unalive was at the beginning of this week, but I could be wrong. I'm just going to, could have been last week. and then of course Geo, and of course Mimi and Abel. I don't get it. Like I told George, we were talking about it yesterday. There's tons of different types of channels. Like some really do just vlog to show their like family to other family in other parts of the country. Others are doing it hoping to gain some sort of like substantial fame. Others do it. There's all different types of reason to be a content creator. And me and George had discussed, or I did, to discuss that some people um, it's going to be an everyday thing. Like for me, even I would just do it anyways. I like sitting in here talking with Lou and Scott and Ted and like a spot and people that are in the room. For no ideas in the house. Tony, what's up? M Dog Equal. And that's why I mean I like doing it. So on days like if I didn't continue to do this, there's a lot of days that George has been unavailable. He is still working and he still squeezes things in. He's been extremely busy, and then he's been spending a ton of time with his uncle. And he's, that was the biggest reason we came to the Philippines. The channel came second. So the channel, instead of it around November, we thought about just doing a few videos, and we were just going to I was like, no, I'm going to continue. It's just where it is. And I like to be able to communicate with the people. But where was I at? So I think I'm all over the place because of the caffeine. So I'm going to go in and say hi's real quick. Again, let me know where you guys are at. And again, um, how's the audio? You can't really see Looby Loob over there. Just match my there. How about that? It kind of covers there's blue Looby Loo, Looby Looby Owl. You guys see the bling on the girl got some bling. I didn't get no bling, but she got some bling. There's Pinky. Pinky. There you go, Pinky. Why don't you lean in? Lean in. Good morning. What's up? Yes, kind of last minute. Well, we usually do lives on Saturday, but we woke up and actually we slept in because we like weird sleeping patterns. We went without sleep and then fell asleep, woke up again, fell asleep back up. So then we were really off this morning. But good morning. What's up? Wow, that is just 1 second. I'm just adjusting some things. Should have checked these in the beginning. There you go. I like that one better, guys. All right. Good morning, Tony. Yeah, it shows a little bit more of the. And now I don't have my kid again. Now he's out. Let's see if we could put him. No. There. He's chilling a little bit. Okay. So, good morning, Locust Pod. Happy Valentine's Day from the OC. What is going on, Ted? Thank you as always for being here. Good morning. For no ideas in the house. Serious question. Why not try to get a remote job based out of the US? Customer service IT, because most of the time requires fluent fluent English, which you and George have already. First off, I am not going to work. Although Social Security, if I am earning a substantial income, like incoming, and I'm putting in full time work, they have like these programs that go on for a few years and do that. Because for me, there's no way with my medical conditions to be able to like sit there 7 hours at a time, 6 hours, 4 hours at a time. I don't spend that much time. It seems like I do for YouTube, but it's 2 3 hours, and then a couple days go by. George goes through the comments and does things, and we both go through the channel, but it's not even technically at this point considered part time. If we pick up a camera and record ourselves out and about, that's not really. So it takes up time, but it doesn't. So for me, it's a no. George already has other income coming in, so that's why I'm not going to fully discuss how he's making his money. But there's something similar to that. He holds a business license to do multi things here. So, but yeah, no, there's no, I'm not going to. Unless it's a push comes to shove, like all of a sudden Social Security drops out and then we're affected. It's not going to be a full effect. Like somebody left a comment the other day stating, you guys shouldn't rely on YouTube as your money. And I'm like, but we don't. So it's right now we make anywhere between, and if it's a good month, we can make up to $500, and that's with stickers and usually holidays or birthdays. Like on our birthday month, people tend to give sticker money, and we get them during the live stream. And so 500 would be the best month. So altogether, it puts an all time for the last 4 years, and being monetized over two, we're under 5,000. Period. So we've made 5,000 in the last couple of years, and that is very transparent on how much we've made. If you add in some of the other stuff, it would definitely be under probably 7,000. That would be like we get people that send money through PayPal and buy me a coffees. So that includes everything. So I'll have to put it at 7 total because it was under 5. So is it not being our income? Then if I had to, then I would go and do an online job, of course, but not going to do it now. And George already has the money. So missed the V-Day live. We'll definitely watch and replay. It was hilarious. We said a lot of crazy crap yesterday. We were off the chain yesterday. You guys will see us interact like a lot of days. It's real life. Like we're a hardcore married couple. And if we're fighting over coffee before the live stream or something simple, like, hey, why didn't you? Hey, Blue Lube, why'd you do that, Louie Lube? If we're like disagreeing on something right before the get him to stay. Nope, it's not gonna do it. I'll have to find a better way to put him up. He's so cute. If we're not getting along, it shows. It's and we're not gonna hold the live or sit there and which a lot of times you'll just see George or me, you can tell there's something wrong. So if there's something medically wrong with me and like I'm on 3 times the steroids or something, yeah, you're going to tell something's off. And so we were in rare form yesterday. Love was in the air, like for real. But it's, we have our good days and bad times, good days, bad days, and we still continue the show unless I'm just really sick. And then we just decide that if he's off doing something, that we're not doing a live at all. But um, yeah, but we were off the chain yesterday. There's only income limit from working to stop disability, but not passive income like stocks or rentals as example. Okay. All right. So he can. So basically, if he already had money, it was just a matter of, let's say he inherited money. Yeah, as I'm to understand for like me, if it was already X amount, it's just working income. Well, here's my deal. I'll have to check that blind guy because the YouTube is definitely a big channel for him. So it's his name on the channel. So he's receiving a paycheck. Like a lot of people bust ass on our channel that I'm the one being paid and that I'm the owner of the channel, which is not true. I appear on the channel. I don't receive a paycheck from George, okay, on the channel. And he is the owner of the company, the taxes, pays the taxes on. I'm not. So I am not, and I don't put in full-time work. I don't even put in part-time work to even start to say that I'm doing it's some sort of work program. I think it's 20 or 30 hours a month or something. So unfortunately, they're not going to get me on that one either. So me appearing on here non-paid does not make me paid. So but yeah, this guy owns the channel, and he's like, there's a couple other that are disabled here in the Philippines, and they're disabled, say they're disabled getting Social Security, but it is their channel, clearly with their name on the channel, and they're getting paid for the channel. That's still active work. So if you're the one receiving that and paying taxes on it, that's what the government's going to start looking for. Also, they will start looking anyways. I expect them to actually start looking at my social media. They're going to really start to scrutinize everybody. And I'm prepared for that. I was considered permanently disabled in 2010. And actually, technically, it was 2009. By the time the payment came in, it was 2010. And by 2015, that was it. They gave me a letter stating that it's not going to improve, not going to change. My disability was from 1974. So since I was about 3. So it just doesn't, but there's all kinds of rules. So, hey, Lou. The one thing that bothers me about Q's adventure is that he's always laughing things off. Yes, including the allegations. Yeah, it's kind of creepy. If I just did that, like let's use the Social Security as an example, because I don't give a shit about the trolls. That here's the thing. About 2 years ago, I didn't know how to deal with the trolls. At least I'm admitting it. And that's the one thing you're going to get if something comes up that's super serious. I did address it a long time ago. Not going to come back through that. And he's really not, and he doesn't really have to. They say that you really don't have to address things, but when you have super serious allegations, even regular guy addressed stuff when it got bad. And you don't have to because somebody's trying to pressure you situation, but like me addressing the Social Security thing, I'm not going to sit there, and be like, oh yeah, they're never going to get me. And although I'm the owner, and this is just me making things up, guys. Oh, even though I'm the owner of the channel, they're never going to get me, and they can't catch me. And it's the way he does it. He kind of does laugh things off, and it's the way he does it. I can't handle this. Is really going to probably offend him, and I really don't give a shit. I don't like the way that I don't like the way that he tries to sound intelligent, but he really isn't. And that could be me too. I mean, maybe I sound dumber than a box of rocks. At least I'm admitting it. But it's the way he talks and delays and talks, and I can't get past it. So I don't know if anybody else, certain channels get to certain people, and I don't know, I just can't deal. But laughing things off, including the allegations. Also, regular guy did fly to Cebu and reported that he's going to rent bikes from Derek. Ugh. Yeah, see, if I know that we talked to regular guy, and it's I don't know if there was allegations on. I'm trying to think of how I would put this. I just would stay away. But in other words, they both have their own issues on allegations, and I wouldn't add to it. I just wouldn't. Have you all seen this channel making videos about Philippine antics? We do not go through searching, and we really don't care. There is probably a dozen channels that do. Just like Paul and Sunshine said, there's always going to be trolls. Soon as we hit the 10,000 mark, they haven't stopped. For people that we've had on the show, they haven't stopped. We know at some point, and I will address it, they're making things up. Okay. And whatever we've addressed has been addressed. Our true fans don't care about it. Anything they're talking about, especially for me, is 20 years ago, 20 something years ago. and they don't know everything. They claim they do. They claim they have the links. The links don't say nothing, and they're definitely lying about George. They're just trying to. They're trying to get to us, and I know it's several channels. It's just not one, and we do not even look at them. So they can keep on. All they're doing is adding to our fandom. Like every time somebody says they're going to come here and say, "Oh yeah, no, that can't be," and so and those that want to know have actually contacted us and we tell them. So, but it will not be addressed again. I mean, I know I'm talking now, I'm talking about like the entire thing. I addressed it probably about a year and a half ago, and it won't be addressed again. So, um, it doesn't affect anything like they say. But yeah. Q's Adventure uploaded the latest video of interviewing a homeless expat, but I cannot stand listening to Q's voice for some reason. Yeah, it's somewhere between a Hispanic and a delayed, or he's trying to sound. That's what he's really trying to do. People either have the gift for gab, which I do probably about 40%, and they're able to articulate. And I'm not very good articulator. I'm learning as I'm going along. And he really tries. It's all right here in NCR, National Capital Region, I believe was what they consider for that. Hey, what is going on? Good morning. Hey, Donald Russell. Q's Adventure said in his explanation video that he was going to do a separate video regarding Giselle and the inappropriate proposal. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it was an inappropriate thing. He's really blaming. Here's the thing. I'm just going to let you know, I was contacted by several people that said they were there after the incidences. I told you the hotel room thing and everything. And he's an adult. So if him and these people want to get together and have parties together and relations and all that, I guess he's an adult. But as far as they're saying that he likes the ladies and they go through and they say a bunch of things and she hunts him down, supposedly the girlfriend does, and then gets upset, and other people said they fight all the time too. And there's all kinds of things that are out there as far as them as a couple and everything. But yeah. Well, guys, I think we will get into the thick of it. Again, I mentioned John T. the expat that we had discussed a while back. I don't think, let me check and see if I got real quick. I think I got rid of the video files because although we have decent storage in this laptop, I probably don't have it anymore. We did have a file on him a while back. I probably got rid of it. Yeah, I think I did. But he did pass away, sadly, the guy on the banking. And the reason I wanted to talk to him, besides his passing on February the 11th, is banking. He, a year and a half ago, lost access to his Bank of America in the U.S. And the reason guys lose access is they usually leave the paper trail or the stuff behind in the U.S. at a family member's, or they get the PO boxes or like the international mailboxes, which can have issues on its own. And if a card gets skipped over or you don't respond to something that comes through in the mail or email, because like one of our old banks, we could do a lot through the email. And so some of them will even send the codes and stuff through. We've gotten codes through email besides using our VPN. And he lost the account. Like they blocked it and did a bunch of stuff. He never got it back. And it's how you deal with the customer service. It's what they're actually looking for. It just become like really ugly. Like I could see a while back where he was leaving messages on his account stating, oh, the dang bank this and this went wrong and service won't deal with me. And that's why America's in trouble. Like he had some really hateful stuff in there. And a lot of people are backing him saying, oh, this is a nice guy. He restores photos and he puts them up. I forgot what they call that. I'm not going to pretend I remember that far back. Restoration something. And I don't think he had an official position. He would just upload them to the Facebook, other places. And he had a website that he had of his own that he put them up on. And so a lot of Filipinos really love him. I mean, he's been in, the Philippines for a long time. Um, but he did not go back to the US to fix it, and he never gained back the money. And so I think he got some help back then. And I know he had to move, and then he ended up in the hospital, and then of course he was probably already far gone, but I think he was close to 80. I just want to say that I don't think it was over 80. I'm just going by memory, guys. So, but the point is that the banking is a very serious thing, and people have been talking more and more about their Social Security. Same thing with the banking, because for those that don't deal, February is the month where a lot of people. Not when I say a lot, we're talking about like we heard from like a dozen people, but there are a lot more that we don't know about that got their Social Security cut off. And the reason they got their Social Security shut off and cut off was because they didn't turn in that proof of life form. And we have, just look for our videos. It's inside here, inside of Philippine Antics videos. We've talked about, just look up Social Security under our channel and you'll see the videos, or Philippine Antics and Social Security. And there's an explanation about why you're sent a form. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people don't get the form. And then in February, when they get cut off, they say they don't know why. And you can download and print it and send it in advance. Some people have. Let me know, guys, if you guys have any experience with that. Leave a comment. But the proof of life letter is done for Social Security. And if you don't get it in advance, then that's it. So for me, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if it's a two thing. One, my Social Security is deposited here in the Philippines. Maybe that's why I'm not receiving the letter. Could be that because I'm on disability itself. Because most of the people that are getting hit that I'm aware of are on straight out Social Security. So maybe it's because I'm always checking in with Social Security. They know that I'm here. I'm registered with the embassy. And I'm always calling Social Security and asking questions and doing something. So there's never a time that, there's never a large gap. But I myself have not received that. During the pandemic, they did stop that. Like a lot of people, they stopped that program of some sort, and then it just recently started up, probably in the last year or two, and they put it back in. And every year, these guys lose their check, and there's a bunch of them whining. I hate to say whine, but it's true, on Angel City Expat and other Social Security sites that they lost their check here as an expat, and in other Asian countries. And some are solely reliant on just that. There is no other money, no savings, no, and that's why I said you guys got to get it done. You've got to be able to get savings, oh shit money, a second account, a second amount of money. So if I was just here by myself and not married and I was just on disability, I would want to have substantial savings back in the US, or an extra account or something, and more than one way to get to my money. And that is the downfall of a lot of guys. And money wise, the next one is fully investing in a relationship, marriage, kids, few years in, and then she kicked you out. That could happen, guys. You guys seem to forget that women are toxic all over the world. I've been hearing time in, time again, time in, time out of these ladies, Filipinos, kicking the expats out. It's anywhere. This could happen in the US, but some reason they think they hit gold, and that gold can never tarnish. Unfortunately, this gold does tarnish here. And I'm just simply amazed how all of their brains drop to their pants when they actually get here, and like major investments like businesses, cars, family asking for money, them giving money, paying for colleges, and doing all this stuff. And they're practically broke. And they're like, well, what could go wrong? I got a business, and I'm doing a trike business with the family. And I already, they try to go the backside of business license, and they say, well, I'm just going to we'll put Tony and Curtis in. I'm just going to let Tony and Curtis take over my business, and I'll give them the money every month. And that way I don't have to get the business license and the work permits, and let them do it. And they can just give me a percentage of the profits. Happens a lot. I'm just calling your shit business out, people. And they put all the money invested everywhere, and they leave themselves broke. Some are just broke. They're just getting their Social Security. They give it out every month, and then they're broke. Bam, kicked out. They've invested in houses and everything else, guys. And so, in saying that, get your money under control. That is the top three problems besides relationships here in the Philippines, is losing access to your money. We've told people that when we first got here, probably about a year after we were here, one of the cards that had access to a major amount of our money got cut off. So we were living on savings, and basically we were living on that 20,000 pesos a month. Okay. So at that time, with the exchange, it was a little lower. I want to say, I don't know, it could have been up to 25. It depends on what came up or any emergencies, but we had savings to live on. Okay, we have family members that help us. George's family is, up there. So it's like, if any emergencies come up, we even have family to help back us up here. So we kind of have a little bit of a cushion here. And sometimes it's quite the opposite. So yeah, definitely get your money and your Social Security together. And again, to round this up, prayers for the family of John T. Well. This was at Expat, I believe we talked about 2-3 weeks ago. Good morning, Victoria. Hey, Victor, what is going on? Hey, Victoria. I'll put this up here for you real quick, sweetie. Good morning. Hey there, Heidi. Good morning to you and George and everyone. Hopefully everyone has a lovely or had a lovely Valentine's Day. Not so much for me. I don't have a significant other. Anywho's, I love that. My mom used to say, anywho, just from us from being up north Ohio, we used to say, anywho. I'm doing okay as I can. Much love, Victoria. We hear you on that one. I was just telling people, me and George went live late yesterday. We went out and went to Croissant Pampanga. I'm probably saying it backwards, but I believe it's called Croissant Pampanga in San Fernando. And they've got like these yummy croissants that they put cream into, and they do like eggs and cheese in the center of them, and they got all these yummy cakes. And I can't even begin to tell you the basic Filipino food, and it's really yummy. It's pricey. It's pricey. So, but it's you're going to pay the $4 or $5 a cake situation, which is probably cheaper than the U.S. right now. But also, I was showing a basket of eggs that George got me that no other man in America gave their wives, was 2 dozen eggs, and he had little jelly bellies that were made of boba tea that he stuck them in there and everything inside of a basket. So we were in rare form yesterday, so we were joking about everything. So, um, but we'll be your Valentines. You can be ours. Check it out. Check it out. Look, Victoria. I have to find a spot. He was over there in the corner in between the little, what I call the little jail area, and he got me it's periwinkle. He thought it was purple. To me, it looks periwinkle, which is a form of a purple, but I call him blue looby lube. And then he got a chain for my other pink looby lube. So now we got. I love these things. I love this. This is like me. It's kind of like, I don't know. I'm be sad. The doctor gave me medicine for my cushions, which basically is the swelling of the face and the body, um, from the steroids I'm on 2 or 3 times a day, or the injections I've been getting. And it's really, if you guys look at my old stuff, it's not because I gained any weight. As a matter of fact, since last year, I've lost 20. It's I'm more chunky, but like Gary Coleman going on here. It's because I have kidney issues too. So it looks like a little kid, but that's what he reminds me of. So let me keep on moving down the line. This week we covered a Russian beauty queen. Let's talk about the Russian beauty queen in Thailand. The story goes somewhere along the line that she was a beauty queen when she was 12. She's like 22 or 23. And in a nutshell, she overstayed by 10 days. Don't overstay anywhere. 10 days here could still get you thrown in the clinker here. It depends on the officer, the mood, what's going on, any immigration. You just don't play with it, especially here in Asia. And the conditions are not expected to be beautiful. And so it turns out that she was thrown out of the country like I dug. I know 2 or 3 other people covered the story in our little forum, like in our circle of expat vloggers. And we went further, of course. We dig and troll a little bit more and dig it in the sand. And turns out she was thrown out of the country before, or there was an issue. And she traveled and went to Dubai and did some other things. She's on limited income. And then she came back in and then overstayed. She doesn't have ticket money to get out. She doesn't have any money. And in order to get up out of the condition she's in, she needs to have that kind of money. And her family refuses. Here's the thing: the Russian government stated, or not the Russian government, let me backtrack. The Russian news agency outlets state that they thought she, or said that she was allegedly a, what do they call those dates for the night guys? They got another word. No, it's not call girls. They call them something else. Buy a girlfriend, rent a girlfriend thing. Let's just call her rent a Russian. Rent a Russian is what's really going on. So let me bring this over so you guys can see the flowers a little bit. But just call it Rent a Russian. And so they're saying that could be what she's in trouble for. George said it this week. He says, yeah, something else is possibly going on, but it is Thailand. It is up to them to um, go through and hit people on immigration. And speaking of immigration, I do have, it's raining again. Wow, that's exactly why it's been raining, and that sounds like rain. It rained yesterday. Remember that we brought the kittens in. You guys missed the kittens yesterday. We didn't bring them in yesterday, but we put them on air yesterday. But we brought them in a couple days ago. Their eyes are open. They're cute as can be. We named him Luna for the black one. Nutmeg is the one that's calico with all the different colors, and the other one is called Basil, because we called the mother Baby Sage or something, but we call her Baby. Because, but anyways, it's raining, so she was sticking them inside the tarp that goes over the trike. Once that gets wet, it's not waterproof, and then it would have been sticking to the kittens. They would have got pneumonia, and that would have been the end. And but let me pull this up here real quick. What is the deal? I just want to let you guys know that there's been a lot of fighting with Filipinas. I just want to let you know that I'm staring at a fight, looks like at the airport. Look at this. I can only show you a few minutes. But the girls are at each other. It seems to be an expat in the, can you guys see that? I don't know what the deal is here lately. There was a fight in this area at one of the clubs, like they were just going at each other, and people are like, "Oh yeah, this stuff doesn't happen among Filipinos. They're just the best of the best." Sure, I agree. Here's my deal with Filipinos, Americans, and people trying to break it down to being black, white, where they're from, and all that. People are people. Bad people are bad people. People that are going to attack each other or get into fights like that. Toxicity knows no boundaries. Like that's it. It doesn't matter if your ass showed up in the Philippines, blindfold them people, they're still going to be the same no matter what continent you drop their ass on. And so I've been seeing this a lot lately. I think it's a combination. Sometimes I don't know if they were drinking on the airplane, but sometimes when it like at, the club thing, it could be alcohol, could be they have mental issues, could be that, social media has been playing a form. Like, let's say you see your boyfriend on social media, picking up food at a stand, and he's like this and coming on to a girl, and he's like, oh hell no, when he gets home I'm after him. Or they post this stuff. All social media causes issues these days, and who knows, but they've been at each other. I mean, it's like, and then now they're just posting it everywhere. So everything, even if nobody's making any money and they're doing it for free, they're just doing it for free and they're posting, and it's like, it just blows my mind the amount of stuff that goes up. So I went in there, I got distracted again. I'm looking up what's going on at immigration. Oh wow. So I will get to that part here in a minute. Looks like for Valentine's Day they caught a group of the BI warns the public against love scams amid the Valentine's Day. There's a surprise, but guys, really that's anywhere, but it seems to be that people really need money here. Online love scams exist. Valentine's season, where the fraudsters often take advantage of unsuspecting victims. Yeah, never give money or stuff. Yeah, they'll claim things like your luggage was there, other things. In one case, a victim was tricked into paying 70,000 pesos after being told her foreign fiance was being held for money laundering violations, and they sent the money. So, who would I can't imagine. Why wouldn't you call your man first or send an email, and why would you pay up front? So that just happened too. So they're just saying be careful, but these things have been going on. These things have been going on. I think they're giving a warning. I think that's it on the registration. Love knows no boundaries, but deadlines do. That's their new advertisement for the East service. Here it is, February 13th, the day before Valentine's. The Bureau of Immigration barred 7 U.S. ex offenders or love offenders from entering the Philippines. Okay. So it says they denied entry by the immigration officer when they were discovered in their database. So there was a guy named Rodrigo who was 30 in 2014 in possession and control of obscene material. Okay, that were underage kids. Wayne, 56. And this is all in the Bureau of Immigration, by the way. Denied entry, convicted in the U.S. in '02 for being a pedo. But it says the person was 15. American man. These were mostly Americans. I think all of them were actually Americans. January 14th, 2014, abuse of a young person. Robert, 69, turned away because in 1999 he was found like lewd conduct. They were in these bases, and they're probably in the same like database in the United States. Okay. Joseph, 71, also was turned away. He was convicted in 2018. Looks like abusing a minor. You know, all of these guys had the same problem as far as being sexual guys. And so it looks like they cut, we said this yesterday, looks like they cut their Valentine's Day short. Isn't that kind of creepy? They were all showing up. But yeah, that was in the news from like a day ago. So I'm going to go through some comments again. Guys, be sure if you haven't subscribed to the channel to be sure to subscribe. It's very important. And if you guys have not left a comment, let me know where you guys are from, how your Valentine's Day went today. And then we will get on to this vlogger that, for some apparent reason, I called him the Food Stamp King. He had come on our show and said something about his lady's age or something because he reminded us because we have the clips of it. So I did break the clip down to show you guys. It's probably about a 5-10 minute clip. I'll play it. But basically, he came onto the panel afterwards and said a bunch of stuff that just didn't make any sense. And here's the thing. We brought our Philippine journey into the house, and he was questioning him like, "Oh, get out!" And it was great. And I couldn't get over him saying that he married his woman at a certain age. And he said it was something tribal. I said, "There's no way. Are you Islamic?" He goes, "I'm not nothing." But you guys will get to see it. It was really crazy. And then he admitted he like bursted the bubble, or he at least thought he bursted ours. I was like, he just looks stupid at this point. I'm not looking stupid. I'm just reporting to not keep listening to anybody. Like some of these guys actually rely like their entire situation of moving here. And if you place this misinformation on there, who was you trying to fool with that? Was you just trying to bring in other people? Not that a whole lot of people did, but you surely gave me content. And then you coming on the show and admitting it wasn't true. it was just wild. So I'll play that here in a minute. And we'll here. Let me get to Geo's Valentine's before we get off the Valentine's thing. Geo has a second channel. I believe it's just called Geo Reacts or Geo's. I'll have to find the link again, but let me put it up for you guys.
How good of a tool this could be for being a single guy or even being in a relationship and just needing a little extra hands-on, if you know.
Extra hands-on. So he brought on a hand, I forgot what George called it yesterday, but he did reword it. A lot of people came through and corrected and said, hey, this is what it is. And it was basically it's a sex toy, sex, and it was funny with him broke up from his girlfriend that he would have it, but then George the pro went on about it. So you guys got to see the live stream from yesterday. I think it was about an hour, so check that out. And we went on about that, and he goes, well, yeah, like Gio said, it's for couples too and all that. And I'm still trying to figure couple wise. I mean, I can think of other toys that you use in relationships, but that kind of, I'm trying to figure, I guess that would keep me from sitting here doing this number, to George during the live stream. I could just set it on there and be like this with it. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. But basically, in a nutshell, he put this on Valentine's morning here in the Philippines, and it was all based on making money. And Geo, to me, has somewhat of a brand. Like me, I'm all over the place like we are. We talk about everything. We do expat drama. We follow things. Usually there's something behind it. But do we have a brand? Yes and no. We have history of doing things, and we have an entire life. But usually he just sticks to expat and travel, but mostly travel these days. And then he brings this on to make some money. And he brings that on mentioning it's on Amazon. And if you click on his link, he gets money and he gets paid from it. I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. I'm a shrewd person and I'm just say what's on my mind, but I don't think I would have. I'm kind of a little shy on putting this on here.
What I mean, stick around for the price. Again, links in the description, in the pinned comment. Pick yourself up one of these. You don't have to be frustrated or really lonely on a Friday night anymore. Thank you guys for watching.
So there it is, guys. In a nutshell, you don't have to be frustrated. Of course, we only use a small amount of the clip to respond on. And it was just out there. I know he's in our circle of people and everything, and this is nothing against Gio. If I got a problem with somebody, I'm just going to say it like Hughes Adventure. I don't like the guy. I don't have any problem with Gio. I know we talked about his breakup yesterday. There was a lot of people saying things about his breakup and how his woman is still basically doing videos, or I don't even know how recent, but they've been covering his life, pretty much saying, oh, it was Gio's situation. That's not what we heard. Several people contacted us and said the real lowdown was her, and that it was pretty much toxic was the word on the street. And I'm like, it's, he said, she said, and, allegedly she was the one, and that it was dealing with her own personal habits in her life and just different things were just said. And I'm like, yeah, we don't really know until, and even the, you can't even believe anything. You just can't believe anything anymore. So let's get in here and see. Yeah, I was searching for your videos and one channel popped up with your thumbnail and I thought it was you guys and I realized it wasn't. Yeah, trolling. Yeah. And it is. There was a channel a while back that was after, I think, our, or not, I almost said our Philippine journey, Mike's Philippine journey, MYK. And I think it's the same one. There's several of them out there. But it's just not, it's like Sunshine said. The moment you hit a certain number, or like people don't like me because I'm a female expat and they see me picking on George or giving him busting his chops, it doesn't matter what color or what nationality George is. I'm still going to pick on his ass. What you talking about? Don't make George special. And it's like, oh, look at him pick on poor George, a Filipino, and blah. Doesn't matter who, color, whatever. And probably after George, there's going to be a girlfriend after this. I'm going to pick on her too, right after she does my dishes. You know, it doesn't matter for me. And there, just after, you know, it doesn't matter. Once you guys get to a certain level, you're going to get love and hate. And they come and go. Like people say, oh, I'm not going to subscribe anymore. You talked about this topic. We're going to keep talking about all kinds of different topics. You either ride it through. And we always aren't going to agree on things. But we've had people that went away for a while and came back, you know, because topics interest them. And we expect people to do that. We expect them to watch those channels. We expect them to watch other channels. And we can't control what people watch. We can control what they say on the channel. Like there's been people in the past that complain that, you know, we barred them and banned them and did things. And it's like, dude, you can't come on here talking about lady problems and drugs and like real drugs. And you can't come in here talking about abortion and all these things that have been coming out of people's mouth, or it just, you know, or disrupt the room. We've had people come in like just putting down other people that were in the room. And I don't mind if you guys call me names, and George, we don't, you know, it's just certain things we don't mind to a low level. But when you disturb the room, which they do, or they do specifically come into comments and try that, they get banned. And that's for us to do. But when you get to this level, you're going to have that for sure. And a lot of them have told us to quit the channel. A lot of them threatened. They do the same thing to Sunshine, and they do that to other vloggers, all vloggers, including the Filipina P. And by the way, I want to let you know that that group, like the 2 or 3 that we know of, are big P simps. Like 1 or 2 of their complaints in their videos, actually, I think all the videos, they complain about us talking about the Filipina P. If she has shit videos, I'm going to talk about it. If the P is scripting it, and I complain that she's not doing a live stream, or if she's back in the US and saying she's never had certain food that doesn't exist, I'm going to call it out as it is. Bullshit. So she does content of this, and that. We do content of this, and that. If I want to do nothing but P reactions, that's what we're going to do. It doesn't matter. It's not their business. But the funny thing is like a few of them out there, their whole channel is nothing but us. And it's like, okay, so then where are you at on that? That's fine. Make your money, honey. Get your groove on, report what you got to report, and get scatter out of here. Yeah, the Victor. I'm going to my son soon. Take care. Enjoy your day. Bye if you're still in the room. Thank you, Victoria. Heidi, the brain drops to the pants happens to older guys. I'm not like that. I have savings, investments, and income that SSA I can't draw yet. And that's true. I think men and women are from 2 different planets. I appreciate you saying that, Discerning Dash. By the way, you guys ain't gonna throw me a sticker? It's time. It's time for the Heidi e-begging session to begin. Nobody loves me. Nobody loves me. I gotta fit the troll role here, guys. It's empty. Well, you guys don't love me, and nobody loves me. Okay, so thanks, guys. Put money in our bank account. So it's true. It's really true about the investments, and it doesn't. I think guys will be guys, women will be women, and there's from 2 different planets. And on top of that, I would call the older guys lonely and desperate. I used to screech out they're just desperate and stupid, but now I realize the older I get and the more medical issues I have, and I'm limited, like on mobility, and your better days are behind you. Like, as far as, I'm not saying they're all over. What I'm saying is that I want to get out right now and go all over the city and hang out all day. And too many things stop me from doing that. I just don't have the ability to do it. So that's what I mean by better days are behind me. I told George yesterday, if I was in my 30s, I would be up on that basketball court. It doesn't matter. I'd be there watching their games and watching their shows. But unfortunately, between the heat, the bugs, the uncomfortable seating of being over there, most of it standing room. And I just don't have the ability to hang out like that anymore. When I was in my 20s and 30s, I could tolerate all the heat and bugs and standing and all that, even though I was a plus size girl back then. And so the better days are behind. So I digress here. But um, I just call it a form of loneliness. I notice that there's a lot of age gap. Which, speaking of which, the next live stream that I cover, I still have that German girl. You guys remembered her name, the German girl. I think she's still in the hospital. I haven't looked at her in a week or so, and I was going to cover her, but it's pretty much the same thing. She's trying to collect money to pay for hospital bills. She's trying to get back to the Germany, I believe, is where she's from. And the next story is an age gap. It's 48 years. So I don't know if you guys know. I know Paul's up there in age, like an age gap, and there's a couple of them that are up there, but 48 years is a big age gap, and this guy's really up there in age. And looks like they even gave him a spot on one of those cable stations, like one of those shows, like Age Gap Does It Work situation. It shows their happy life and all that. And I'm like, it can't all be like that. I'm sorry. I know TV's a lie, and they set up the shots, and they're there all day, and it's a setup, and that's fine. My deal is they're blogging. They have a big Facebook now. I believe they have a big TikTok, and their numbers are up there. They're both talentless. The only reason they have anything is because of their age gap. They use every inch of their age gap. And look at me, I've got an American man. He's American or British. I'll have to check where he's from. But I want to cover it, and because there's issues with age gap. There's good, there's bad, especially if you come here to the Philippines. And I think that's the one topic I've been wanting to cover again is on the age gap, and then give everybody a thing in there. What we got going on? Hey, ways to love me. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Uh, I just noticed George is right. When we put up this one, I can see you holding. It's a kitty or a dog. Is that like a spot? Is that a kitty or a dog? Speaking of kitty and dog, hey, you want to come up here and say hi in your jersey? Come up here and tell them who you supported in the Super Bowl. Come on up. Oh my God, she is so lazy. Here she is. Look who's got their jersey. But yeah, it looks like he's little, but it could be. This one looks like a kitty. Check who's got their Lakers. Look, I just noticed we match. Check it out, guys. I really did. This is not even intentional. Who's number 24? Are you 24? Are you being good? Aw, you want to show me your new hairdo? You want to say hi? Why are you being like that? My body slammed the dog the other day. Stop. See how she's resisting and pushing off? When I go to take her off the couch, she resisted, and I was holding the back of her shirt. And I was like, here, and I'm trying to put her on the floor, and she's leaning back. And so by the time I'm holding the top of her and I try to put her down, she's like this, and I'm kind of at the same time, she's pushing against the couch. She landed, she hit her nugget on the floor, and I'm like, I'm trying, what do you do? She's doing that now. See, she's leaning. I don't know why she does that. Some days she's relaxed or God. Yes. Yeah. Tell him thank you for the sticker money because Dad will use that to give to the dog shelter. Say we give to Noah's Ark dog shelter. Yes, we have for a while. Thank you. And for pet food. Thank you. Thank you. Probably a whole bunch of barbecue. Here, I know you guys like chicken. We get the roasted chicken, and they all get chicken. Hey, yeah, is there roasted chicken in there? Oh, jeez, I don't know why she does that. Well, hi, say hi. You want to say hi? Talk about judgmental. Tell the trolls bite me. Say hi, trolls. Keep on. Thank you for the views. Thank you. Bitches. I'm going to let you up here, but don't chew on Looby Loob. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bobby G, so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you guys notice that the intros that we'll play on Saturday are in between um, ones that go into our fan antics list, we'll update our list with people that are regulars after a few months on our memberships, no matter what size, and on regular sticker givers and stuff over a period of time. So we will add you. Also, um, hey Pablo, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pablo. I really do appreciate it. I want to let you know, I know it's kind of corny, but me and George was thinking, and George had a few drinks yesterday. It was Valentine's, not too often. But we were just discussing that we have gone through and done like the music channel, and we added another one that we haven't released right now. We're waiting for it to build up. We might let you guys know, but what we're going to do is we're creating characters like it's based on like pets and stuff, like cats. There'll be dogs in there, and they're going to be in it kind of like a cat cafe, and they're made of like Pixar, and we're creating characters. So like we have one that's video gaming, and we have currently one that's like on a laptop watching YouTube. And these are being created, but music, we're creating the music that's going with it. And so we're just going to give these characters names of our regulars and stuff. So like there'll be one for Ted and Scott, and we'll just go through. Pablo, we'll definitely be doing one for you, and we're going to name the character for you, and we're going to keep a story going. So I think it'll be interesting because I know that we had come up with a name. I know I'm digressing on the side. We came up with something somewhere along. I have to find out, like Fan Antics, Cafe World, or something. But it's just going to be something that we both do in our relaxing time. We create this cafe music, a very relaxing music, and it'd be interesting, guys. And we're going to use our people, our regular supporters, as names and give stories, and then people can give us information if they want. So, yeah. But thank you so much. Yeah, so them guys on their Social Security or whatever, it does seem to be the older guys, but it does happen to the younger guys. Some of the younger guys do send a bunch of money when they're in the online relationship. Escort, yeah, that's the word. Yeah, most definitely escort. Right, Ted. That's what it is, Ted. And Ted, we are extremely excited about. Ted had sent us another Billy Buying box. He and some others send them on a yearly basis. They send us goodies from the US, and they send us everything. Like we're still using items from your box, Ted. It's as a matter of fact, at the rate that we use coffee, although it's just a little bit every day, we had opened up, you had sent us the big Folger ones. We made it through that. We're opening the Colombian one right now. We're going through, and man, that's so much yummier. I think it wasn't from Costco. I forgot who it is. It's Members Mark, or I have to find out what the brand was. But we just opened that up. It's a difference of day and night getting that Colombian coffee. So that's what's in here now. And basically, um, I've cut substantially down on the sugar and junk and everything, and my joints are starting to get a little better and everything. And so that's just cream. That's pure, real cream in there versus that we were using the packets of coffee, guys. I don't know for like the rest of you. And if you had the 3-in-1, I didn't realize how much sugar and junk was in there. And the doctor says, yeah, you got to stop those. And I was doing 2 packs and a giant, that I call it giant for this, with liquid. And I was drinking 2 and 3 of them a day. It was all calories. He says, yeah, you're drinking away your calories. They've been cracking down on the foreign streetwalkers in Thailand. So maybe she was over there trying to push business on the Asian guys and foreigners. Or, it's like I said that she's cutting into their stuff and they knew it. So such cute names for the kittens. Love, yeah. Well, we called her baby Bella, and she looks like Bella. And Bella, we had rehomed to a friend. The friend went back to the US for a few months, and they were like, oh, well, can you watch her? Because we'll be totally gone. And I'm like, okay. And the reason we had sent her there, it's a regular person that comes and visits us. The reason we did is when we got the puppy, which I'm looking down at now, she's over there. Bella couldn't stand her, and she was like hissing at her, and she just kind of was being crazy. Like her behavior had changed. Like she peed on the couch like twice. It was like she was, I don't know, it was just weird. She just got, it was stress, is what the vet said. And so she just started freaking out. And we could not keep her calm, even though she went upstairs. And so we rehomed her a few months ago. Well, we got her back. She's behaving and getting along. So now we're keeping her. So the person was like, yeah, we love her and they don't have a problem. So we got her back again. And so we got her and baby Bella. And baby Bella, I just don't want to say baby Bella and Bella. Right now, I call her baby, but I started calling her Sage. So that's why I named the kid Basil. So yeah, Basil and Nutmeg. It's kind of like the other ones. We named Cookie, and we started doing, like, even one of them at one point had the name Brownie. Some of the other kittens fighting over Jollibee. Yeah, man, ladies are ladies everywhere. I get so tired of, oh, them bad old American women. They just do this and they take my money and they're ugly and they're fat and they're greasy and they're just horrible. I'm like, you do realize all the above is over here, right? But I'm like, suckers, just let them come on over and learn a lesson. It's, you can only say so much. I don't expect most people to listen anyways. It's like, okay, my, well, silence isn't always golden, but I will just, karma thing on everything. Trolls, guys that, dog American women. You realize it could open up a whole nother YouTube channel about that stuff. But yeah, it's just crazy. Right? I will fight for someone who takes my Jollibee. Laundering violation. Where's the surf? Yeah. Yes, I've been seeing a few posts about stopping for US expats. I'm guessing they did send their proof of life. Yeah, and here's another thing. There was a few fear-mongering videos that came up in the expat forums and just came up. Like, one had nothing to do with the Philippines. It just came up and said, and I started watching it yesterday, and I said, this guy doesn't even know what he's talking about. He said people on SSI, this is SSI, and then he said people on disability, and the guy was like, the stuff, I mean, just wasn't a little bit of misinformation. But he went on to say that, does this have anything to do with the US government and what's going on? And maybe, and I'm like, no, it happens every year. It's been happening for years. But his thumbnail stated, that they're stopping checks for expats overseas and that they're going to lose their checks. And I'm like, no, this is not everybody, has nothing to do with Social Security and, like that situation, what's going on with them going through and checking people, you know, right? Geo's hand tool. He said everything. He called it his tool. And I'm like, did he really just say his tool for his tool? Comes with 50 mils of palm oil. Yeah, the sticky stuff. Hey, Bobby, what is going on? Timmy loves you, Heidi. Right? Let's see. It's a goth girl holding a kitty. Oh, okay. So she is holding the kitty. Yeah, we were talking about pets yesterday. We like dogs, but like George said, he picks up kittens, stray kittens all the time. He really does, and it's sad that we went out there again last night. And there's a crap load of cats from the neighborhood, and a lot of them are outdoor cats. Like, people, I get that they own the cats and everything, but there's so many out there, and they're in bad shape. They let them stay out there, and it's it's heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking. Um, there's some people that can't attach to animals whatsoever. Like, they're just like, I seen on a Facebook forum a few months ago where guys were just talking about how to get rid of cats. His question was, how do I get rid of these cats? And people were serious. They said put aspirin in the water, it's going to get rid of them and they won't come back no more. In other words, unalive these cats. They were giving all kinds of ways because they said they were like tearing up their motorbikes and stuff outside and going to the bathroom and in the yards. And I'm just like, yeah, there's other ways to handle that. But they were all giving advice how to get rid of them. I forgot the other advice they were giving. There was a lot of advice about how to get rid of them, that they were all bad, and I just can't see that. I don't know, but we can't save them all either. And so, like, I'd probably say throughout the day, about 10 of them come through. Like a couple different sets come through and eat. They'll come into the yard or on the outside, and we just keep trying to take care of them. But I wish we could save them. There was a house a few months ago, or probably now it's probably been a year ago, that was out, I don't know, about 40 miles from here. And I wish we had the funds. Like it was a bigger house, and then it would require X amount of deposit, and then of course the move and a truck, and but it was probably more the monthly rent and the upkeep. So it was a bigger place with like two maids' quarters. It had a courtyard, like inside. It was almost like a couple little apartments with a courtyard in the middle, but it was further out, what I call in the province area. And it was nice, but I told George, I said, let's say we did get the funds and we got ready to move and we went through all that and affording it and everything, because it was like 3 times, 4 times the rent we're paying now. I said, we're just going to fill it with cats. I mean, so I told him, I said, we're just going to grab every cat, and then we're going to have every cat, and then we're going to be 10 times into the amount of cat food, which is costly here. It costs more than rice here. And I said, I don't know. I said, next thing you know, we got like 100 cats, and then we're a shelter. it's like, but if we could, that's how many are around. It's like Mexico had a lot, but not like it is here. So, right. Oh, is yours 99 years? Hey, I'm trying to think. I think there was a 32-year between me. Before George, I was with a Canadian guy. And I think it was about 32 years. He was 74, 76, and I was 42 or something. So, but a little bit. I'm not adding the math right now. Yeah, it's 31. Usually I can add quicker. I was on a medication yesterday where it messed with my eyesight and I just can't take it. It was the Lyrica. Something they thought they could start me on Lyrica, guys, and it just was not. After, actually, it was 2 days. Yesterday was the second official like whole day, and it messed with my eyes. It messed with everything, and I was on it years ago, and now I remember it was a weight gainer for me, like literally 40 pounds in a short period, and with no different eating habits. And my eyes were glossed over. I could barely even see by the end of the night. And I was like, yeah, I can't continue this. So it's one that I'm going to have to take off the list. And confusion was another. Like, I think you guys noticed the other live. Well, I'm always confused at my lives. Thank you. Yeah, Mary's a good dog. We got her about a month before Christmas. George gave her to me for Christmas. So it's Merry. So we keep the spelling like Merry Christmas, but Mary. So of course, it's like Mary, like Jesus and Mary. And so the name kind of matches all the way around. I wish you wouldn't do that, silly. She's got a bed, but there's a pee pad in the house for her, and she's laying on the freaking pee pad. I don't know why dogs and weird. She's got a perfectly good bed with a nice little fluffy blanket, and she lays on the pad. It's like the cats when we get them like toys and things to play with. They'd rather play with a piece of plastic that fell on the floor or the bottle caps. They love the bottle caps. Oh yeah, we did do the age canon. Yeah, age canon is what they said, I think. Yeah, that's the one we did an age canon when that guy was saying he had 6 or 7 or 8 girlfriends. The one in Cebu. There's only 80-year-old Mick Jagger I ever lusted for. That was Mick Jagger. I hear you. Say them in L.A. last. we would have been a 31-year age gap couple. I hear you on Mick Jagger. It's just always been something between his talent and the lips and everything else. So yeah, there are some like in Hollywood. I know there's some guys up there in age with that type. It's a big one here. But here's the thing, even the age gap that we see in Hollywood right now, whether they've had surgery or not, this guy and her, it looks like her great grandfather. He really aged hard. He really aged hard. And it's like it looks like she's the caregiver. And the harder they say that I don't care that people are staring at us, the more I don't believe that. It's affecting them one way or another, or that we don't care what they think about us. But some are thriving on that for their content. And everything's about content and toxicity content and toxicity content. Thanks for another ideal. If you want some stuff specially from the US, let me know and I will bring it to you on the next month. Thank you. Thank you. I should be, because I do fast now for the last month. I usually don't eat anything after a certain time. So, like, give or take, anything after 6 is usually not. So, I do 12 to 14 on the fasting. And I used to do that last year. And I've done it on and off for the most part. I don't eat after a certain time. Now, when I was in the United States and in Mexico, I did. I ate. Me and George was eating all different hours. We didn't care. We were eating everything: pizza, chicken wings. We had a lot of chocolate bars. We just bought everything. Mostly, we were just cooking and just hanging out during the pandemic, and so it's what we did. And some of the weight did come on for the both of us, but I ate way more in Mexico than I did here, but I wasn't on steroids. So as soon as I got on the steroids, it seemed like even a cracker things were just causing everything to go up. And so um, I started fasting from last year, but I've been hardcore here this past week or two to make sure I don't eat anything after a certain time. And I just cut out on 90% of stuff. So if I do eat something special, then it's not all the time. It's like twice a month. So, um, so it's going to have to be like that. And it's not for weight loss anymore. It's actually for my joints and the flare ups. Like my skin is totally broke out just from anything, sugar, anything, everything. My skin is just off the chain right now. It looks like bug bites. It's broke out so bad. Like it's almost like I got welts from medications and just broke out. But black coffee, I wish. I'm kind of digressing everywhere here, but keep being creative. It's awesome. I love Antics. Oh, that is a good one. We've been looking for something. There you go. That is cool. Yeah, and we can just like build like characters and stuff. And that's what we're going to do. And we have like fun because it's lo-fi, and so basically it's, for those that know that, I think a lot of that music originated in Japan. And basically to me it's a mix of, you can do like jazz and hip hop really isn't. It's basically some of the elevator music without it being popular music. It's what they play in offices. It's just like, it's really mellowing music. So basically it's just a lot of instrumental, and we listen to it all the time when we're doing things and cleaning in the morning. And so that's really cool. Good morning, midlife escape. If not if not living in Philippines, what country would you choose outside the US with the same budget? Um well, it would probably be Vietnam or Cambodia. Um, it wouldn't be, it would still be Asia. So, if we thought we could get the immigration. We just don't both want to be foreigners. That was the biggest issue for me. I want one of us to have solid ground. But cost wise, I would go back to Mexico, which we are allowed to go back to Mexico. There was no problems with Mexico. We drove into Mexico and we stayed in Mexico for almost 6 months. We just didn't want to pay, like there were requirements for per person, and we didn't meet a lot of those. And so plus the cost. And so immigration was a little harder for us there. So Mexico, and then the other would be Vietnam. Has really, you get your bang for your buck in Thailand and Vietnam, Cambodia. All these places are really, the infrastructure is way cleaner and better. But I have not personally been there. I'm just going by news articles, videos, research, and asking. Like you can even do an AI search, do a search, and according to the statistics on government pages, it shows that it is. I mean, photos speak widely, but when you get it from the expats, those are the countries, and they were in the top 8, I think, of cheap countries. So Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, Mexico. Yes, in relation to message about things you or George may want from the U.S., like coffee, shoes, soap, whatever you might want. I'll be starting my 6 months there. Can meet you guys before I go to Mindanao. That would be sweet. Yeah, contact us on Messenger and we set that up. Coffee would be great. We like coffee. People bring it from like Hawaii, like when we meet up with them. Coffee's a big thing for us. So, yeah, that would be great, Bobby. Thank you so much. Why did she do that? Now she's got her face down in the pee pad. God, and she just had a bath. There's her clean clothes on her. It's like kids, like when you wonder why the 3-year-olds, it's like we were cleaning up yesterday and George was like cleaning one mess up after the other. And he says, I was like, it's like taking care of kids, isn't it? It's like you stop one thing. I said, I told you. I said, I said, while you're working, sleeping, family members, and you know how guys, like he's doing his thing on his phone. I was like, yeah, I said, it's a lot of work when, I guess men don't, like women are the ones that take over households, and he's used to me doing everything. So it's 75 watching, only 25 likes. Appreciate it. Yeah. There's a last minute live thumbnail on that, with it just being the week's wrap up. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thailand double taxation. Even if you sell your house in the United States, they want tax money on. Oh, okay. Oh, then that'll answer that. I mean, we don't have any assets, but there's reasons people don't. They said that Vietnam was the place, Vietnam and Cambodia. So, do you know if you can get the the Morange or dry? I know which one you're talking about. There's a diabetes. The answer is no for me. People have asked me about that. They've asked me about being on medications like that for the weight loss, the lupus, and other medications. It's a no. So it's a no-go because the other ones I cannot come off of to do that. And I'm sorry, I'd rather stay this way and die in 3 days than to go on that medication. There's too many side effects. Even if I couldn't do it due to other issues, there's so many side effects. And the people that are on it, I'm sorry, they look horrible. Most look horrible on that. So it depends on the level of the ones. There's literally like a certain body aspect from being on it and face. I just can't see it. I'm not going to. My life, as rough as it is, so I'm doing what I'm doing now by putting a halt, on most of the excess that I was doing. Even George offered to go get the cocoa pandan, and I was doing a lot of bread. Most of my downfall is sugar and carbs, so I have to limit them like 90% now. I have to sleep 3:30, but wanted to say hi. Can't wait to get back there, and I will message you guys. Okay, and get your wish list. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. See you later, Bobby. Vietnam is an excellent option. Currently living in Thailand. Visited Vietnam is even lower cost, but no long-term visas. Okay. Have to do the border runs every 90 days. Okay, and that could be it, especially for the elderly to run. Yeah, I think that's what I heard is that yeah, you have to do the but they said that it's really easy, but you still have to leave and stuff. So that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to get on to the next deal that we have going on. And I'm going to start. I still have the American one. I don't know if I'm going to get to the American that was unalived. The only update that I had on the American unalived is that his man is still talking on Facebook. Let me see if I can find the translation. He put something up yesterday, and the translation, let me see, it's probably not there. It just didn't make any sense. So I think I'm going to break down what he said. Okay, I the translation is not in the translator. Basically, it sounded like I'm going to put some of this up for you guys to show you what I'm talking about. For those that don't know, there was a there was an American that was unalived by going to an ATM, and he picked up money and then headed to the resort. I thought it was at the resort. Others thought it was a resort. There's several articles out on this, but not a whole lot of articles. So it's like they're not even going to talk about it. I myself feel it's because they're gay, like possibly it was something they're kind of, although he was an American, it's not become a real high profile case. And I think it has to do with, I don't know. I just get a lot of people say, oh, no, it didn't have nothing to do with him being, but there's something up with it. It's like they're not shining any light on what happened, like a bunch of it. I didn't see a bunch on it. So basically, in a nutshell, he took out what appears to be about 50,000 pesos late at night. The husband is Filipino. He lives in this area. Let me, as I'm talking about, go further. He lives in the area of Mindanao, and what happened is the let me go back. I didn't mean to skip on it there. Sorry, guys. I was trying to pause it and it skipped forward. What happened is that the guy went to go withdraw the money from the ATM. When they went to the resort, the money appeared to be on the Filipino husband, which is a pig farmer that was living in the U.S. with his husband. They got legally married in the U.S., but they called him a partner here because gay marriage is not legal here. So I think that's what they were just referring to him that way. But they are married in the U.S. He's been living in Boston with them. Looks like the relationship's been a few years. They applied for his green card and working on possibly the citizenship thing. And it showed like a year ago they applied, but it looks like it's been on like a year during the pandemic and for the last couple of years. But he's been working his pig farm. There must be other businesses because he did make a statement yesterday and none of it made any sense translated. So he didn't put it in English this time. It was in Cebuano. And the message was all over the place. But basically, the money was taken from the Filipino, but the American was the one unalived. And he is a person of interest at this point. And now he's saying he took the money out in the middle of the night for a fish pond. This was posted yesterday, translated. And that, like George said, it's like he's talking to himself and like the dead husband, or it's weird how he's talking and being translated. But basically mentioned the businesses again with an S. So maybe before the meeting of the family dealing with business or business with family, there's something going on between the business and the family and something else, guys. And it was in a smaller area. They were at a resort. So it wasn't at a resort ATM. It was somewhere else. And a guy with the story said that he was wearing a helmet. The other one said it was just a scarf around his face. and different stories. But when he was interviewed, he wasn't really upset about it. And then there was another interview where they said he was acting. So it was almost like polar opposite. So there's all kinds of questions about the Filipino himself. I'm going to show you why, because 3-4 hours after, okay, the shooting, he was making comments about, although we weren't getting along and things about the family. It was just strange statements, like they were on the verge of breaking up. You guys can go look at the guy's page. We did a previous live stream if you guys want to look it up. But basically, he was posting photos. There he is at the his pig farm, and there he is. But thank you for saving my childhood. But here's the thing: these photos were posted, okay, less than a week before the incident. Why would a husband be posting these photos on? George said he called that stuff out right away. He goes, he's hunting. And so maybe they had an open relationship. It's possible. They do that a lot here in the Philippines. And so basically in this one, it says why. Basically, in a nutshell, it's like, what did you expect me to do? Cry during that interview, during the investigation? So a lot of people said things to him. He's been backbiting. So yeah, it's just a bunch of the backbiting. By the way, I was letting you guys know that he was trying to say that he couldn't really say things, that people were being judgmental. And he said, he basically was saying the American husband really didn't want the world to know about the relationship, and that there were issues, and but he didn't want to be openly showing all their stuff. As soon as he passed away, he did post all of his photos. Now, for me, being he was posting those other photos, now that I think about it, maybe there was something going on. Like maybe he didn't want other guys to see him together and he was working the system. I don't know. He can squirm whatsoever. But these went up afterwards, and that's just where it was on that story. So, but basically, the recent one is he said they took the money. Like there was no other. There's no articles. There's no nothing to say. Hey, why you? A lot of people are saying, why would you take 50,000 out? You know the area. You know you're the Filipino. This is your country. You should have known better. The American should have known better. The Filipino can't take all the blame. Yeah, I'm sorry, he can't. But if your Filipino says something, it was just crazy to take 50,000 pesos out late at night and then show up at the resort. So it wasn't to pay for the resort; it was to pay for the building of a fish pond. So I don't know. So it just kind of out there. So and I go. I think you can get almost any meds there you can get in the States. You may have to go to more of the small town docs to get specific meds, but I'm sure you can get anything if you look. Is that talking about like? Is that like? Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about like here in the Philippines or in Vietnam, like in the Philippines, it just depends on their stock in the major cities. But as far as getting scripts, it would be really easy. But maybe you're talking about. I was asking for myself if I moved there. It really helped my blood sugar. Sorry. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Oh, there you go. I apologize. Do you know if you can get? I thought you were like asking, like for me. It's a diabetes medication that you're on. Sorry, sweetie. Um, the it's really hard to get. So I see why he answered that. The answer's no for the most part, because people were asking about diabetes medication. I ran that one, the seraglutide something, and that all those injection pins are not on the list at most of the major pharmacies here in Angel City. I There are companies where you can sign up for it, but it is very costly here. So I want to let you know each one of those injection pins are not covered by insurance. And so I don't know, as I'm to understand, they're 1 in 200 US dollars. So to me, that's costly. So sorry about that. Thanks, Bobby G. Yeah, withdrawing 50,000 at 3 a.m. Yeah, it was for a fish pond. And I think the photos were sketchy too, a week before the incident. And his husband's photos were nowhere on his thing because he's saying that his husband wasn't open to being open. And I get it because he was some sort of construction or some sort of manager somewhere in the US. Maybe he didn't want nobody to know. But the photos were out there of their marriage and stuff, so he wasn't totally hiding it. But I don't know where the other photos came from that were brought out into the daylight. He was going to pay for something sketchy. Everyone involved are sketchy. Was a train wreck waiting to happen. Old man taking advantage of a young Filipino thinking cash is king. Well, like I said, they were married and they've been together for a few years, and it was an online relationship. And then the guy went to Boston. He's been there, and that would have been a long process. No Filipino gets over there based on, it'd have been X amount to get him out of the country. And then when he got there, if he applied after they got married for him to stay and do an adjustment and all that, it had been a process. So they've been going through that and together. But there's a lot of age gap, whether the couple's gay or whatever it is on a relationship. I don't know. I couldn't see going specifically to that area. He should know the dangers in his area, who actually exist and who doesn't, and everything. All right, so let's get on to what is going on right now. We're going to cover now the food stamp king guy. So I'm going to let this run and let you guys listen to this last guy, and don't be like this guy and don't take advice. It gets even crazier by the moment on these expats making stuff up. And this guy I flat out called narcissistic, and that he was just outright lying. And I said there's even probably some mental stuff going on. So some of the stuff that comes out of this couple's videos that have come out the last few months, he just came into our room, and it was, I hate to say it, open season at that point when he said that his woman was 14 when he was with her, and he does state that. So he, in the room itself during the live stream, explained to everybody besides his food stamp and that he gets WIC. And I'm like, we start questioning, you ain't getting WIC. There's no way. Why are you getting WIC? And he was making things up by the moment. And he said that she was part of a tribe, then tried to say it was NPA. And George said, that's not a tribe. And so the guy's just way out there, and he's like, oh, psych, I'm just lying. And so the whole thing was like a train wreck. And it was interesting at the same time as it just, the guy just unwinds. So let me play this for you guys.
And enjoy ourselves. I think a lot of the issues that I've been coming across with people that I meet here in Davao and also people on social media, it still remains the same ideal of money. Money is a very big topic, but I'm trying to inform people to get a nice, good girl here. You don't need money. Don't let them trick you. So, hey everyone. So topic today would be finances, which I think is very a big topic I've been watching a lot on the YouTube. How much do you actually need to live like a king? Because everyone's mixing things up, like the cost of living, and we'll throw in a little bit of relationship that has to do with money. Come on, I mean, you want to be comfortable. The girl wants to be comfortable with you. So let's go with how much do you need to live like a king in the Philippines? I've heard 2,000, 3,000, 5,000. For me, myself, I live off about $320 US per month. And that's a little over 15,000 pesos. So I'm doing very, very well. I live in a very nice apartment, swimming pool, gym, security, armed security with cameras. very nice location. And I'm not too far from actually downtown Davao. Anywho, I'm right next to all of the malls, and everything. So I'm very well off. So I mean, I would say whatever you're comfortable with. Like I mean, if you want to live, if you want to live like in a 20-room house, a mansion, yeah, come with $2,000-3,000, whatever. But if you want to live like a nice area, like back home in America, $400, $500 is enough. Like that's a really good amount. I spend on. So if I'm talking about 15,000 pesos a month, I spend maybe about 150 a day. That has to do with food, beer, my favorite, Red Horse, beer, discos, restaurants, and on occasion we go to shopping at the SM Mall. We go to the Breeza Mall. Those are big malls. I get hats. I get whatever. It's very, very cheap. I use so back in America, I'm on welfare and food stamps. So I just transfer it into there's a program in the Philippines. You transfer it, and it pretty much exchanges into Philippine money, and you just pick it up at either a bank that you open your account, or maybe through like a wire transfer. It doesn't matter. It's just as long as it's going through. There's a program they have for foreigners to do that, and then also I have the food stamps too actually. So that's also transferred with it. So altogether, I'm about 400.
Just a still photo, guys.
I think I'm about 440 US dollars a month. And like for example, today I bought 2 beers. I got me a nice chicken. I ordered out for chicken, big old meal, big old chicken, the big ones. 2 beers. I got me the big waters, the 5-gallon waters. And then for me, it's about almost 5-6 p.m. So I'm going to be going out to a bar and hang out and with my fiance Mimi. And maybe tonight we party, and I spend maybe about an extra 50 to 100 peso, depending on where we go. It's a nice place. It's called G Mall.
All right. So initially, he said he spends 150 pesos. So his budget's kicked up to 300 pesos for going to a disco and going out, huh?
Echelon Disco Club. So it's up to you, though. I mean, don't listen to nobody else. Everyone has their own thing.
350 on average.
You have someone who grew up on fucking like 7,000 a month in America. Yeah, their point of view is going to be different. Of course. I know people who are raised on $5,000 a month, you know. And then I even know people who have like more than 10,000 a month and they're living. So just everyone's different though. So I mean, for me, I have a 1-bedroom apartment, kitchen, living room, a screen TV. And I'll show you here. So we can do it. Okay. I'll show you right here. Yeah. So I'm doing pretty good with 440 US dollars.
It wasn't a small place.
It has shower, hot water, cold water, air conditioning, Wi-Fi, Netflix, everything. So I'm not too sure where people are getting these numbers from, because I've watched it. I think we all watched them. Oh, so cool. In Thailand, 500. It's true. I think $500 is like perfect. That's like middle class, like middle class. You know, I have nice shoes. I have everything. I've been here for a few years now. I have never come across anything that would prove to me otherwise. No?
Yeah, there it is. So there it is. In a nutshell, guys. In a nutshell. I'm just... And here's the thing. He tried to come on the channel a week or 2 ago. And for a while, be mine. All right, 1 second. All right, guys. Real quick. Oh, that I'm trying to control. I did a breakdown of this. I think it was like a 35-40 minute video. So it showed what happened. We showed that clip at the beginning of the week, but what happened is this guy named Abel showed up in the room, and there was when he was spitting out that his woman was 14 when he married her. And then I was like, hey, you said he didn't think we'd catch him, or he didn't care if we catch him. I can't tell if this was just a psychotic thing, but he said that he was 14 when he hooked up with his woman, and that she was 20 something, and somebody said, she looks way beyond 20 something. And then he was going on, I take my headband off, I'm kind of out there. And then afterwards, he tried to say that he was married to her early on. It was something tribal. And I said, I know the tribes. I'm not aware that changes anything. You're an American. And then I called him out on income and all these different things, but he came into the room. So let me play that for you. I'll be curious on that, Abel. Good morning, our Philippine journey. 1 second. Can you hear me, Mike? Let's see. Let me get to that. I mean, hold on a second, guys. Can you hear me?
But yeah. Very good.
Hi. I'm going to address the last question. So you came in on the last live stream and said your wife is 14 and I've been with her for 6 years. Where is she from?
She's tribal.
It's still illegal. You're an American citizen. So you're proclaiming to be Muslim then?
I'm nothing.
Okay, well then you don't have the right to marry a 14-year-old or to be with a 14-year-old.
Mimi, she's in the bathroom right now.
Right, but the rules for you as an American apply. It doesn't matter if she's tribal. Did you get which the age of consent in the Philippines does not apply to any guys unless you're showing up and you're 18 yourself. There's the Romeo and Juliet clause. This goes all the way across the board. The only change is if she's Islamic and you're a true Islamic person married by an Islamic mosque and you get the paperwork that has to be filed in the courts, okay, and the parents sign up. I think that's the only way you can do it Islamically, not regular marriage as a Christian, none of that. And a lot of guys, just marry, like as I'm to understand, big man in the Philippines, like I guess he just marries a bunch of women. Like I guess he does have multi-wives, and they don't do any registration or whatever. But as far as Islamically, had nothing to do with tribal. So the guy as you can see, just won't answer. You guys do not have the right, man or woman, to be with a 14-year-old, a 16-year-old. They've got to be 18 and older. So none of the laws apply. They apply to Filipinos. So I thought you said she was your fiance.
Yes.
Okay, but it says here your wife was 14 and you've been with her for 6 years.
Oh, well, made that part up. But no, we are married through tribal, but we are waiting for paperwork to go through still, like the actual
When you say tribal, that's not Islamic. I mean, I've never heard of a tribal.
It's here in the minute now. They were part of the rebel groups before. Then they transferred over, so they gave up all their.
I want to let you know he keeps saying Mindanao. If you look up their most recent video, it still says Ormoc, birthday party in Ormoc. George was not here that day, and I'm sorry. You guys are like, oh, you didn't do any research before you guys talk about any of your vlogs. It's called time. I'm not going to spend 60 hours a week doing so much research that whatever. I mean, again, it's not a job. It's just me doing some discussions and crap, but it's found out that just his most recent video, it was caught again, him saying Ormoc birthday party or something. And so Ormoc is Leyte. And I don't know all the cities here, but George would have called that out right away. But he keeps saying in Mindanao. That's why I thought he was in Mindanao. So which is it? Hence all of your intros with all the weapons and everything.
Yeah, those are the family members.
All right, yeah, so it's called Mimi and Abel. And Mimi and Abel, when it opens up with music, it does show him holding all kinds, like he's with people with weapons. It does look like that area. But according to him, he's in Ormoc and Leyte. Now, I don't know where the distance is between these. I can't even begin to tell you, pretend that I do. But in this manner, the channel would never get monetized or any traction just based on that. You can't, run a channel with that on there. So, but he does. It shows him with weapons. Try to bring in Mike. Hold on a second. Can you hear me, Mike? Mike.
Yeah, I hear you. Can you hear me?
Go. Yeah, so I was just questioning him about him saying that his wife is 14. He's been with her since she was 14, so she is 20. So he's been with a 14-year-old.
Well, I got no idea about that. I mean, I have a home in Mindanao. I'm not far from Davao. I understand what he means by tribal.
Yeah.
Tribal has actually no legitimate law in the Philippines. All right, so you've got what designated as a type of group of individuals, because you had the NPA, you had the MILF, you had all of these, and then everything got sorted out. So I understand. I don't.
Yeah, I don't think they're tribal. Them or
I'm not going to try and interpret
they might be from
anything when
certain
it comes
tribes,
to
but
his life in the Philippines. What I want to know, how do you qualify for federal assistance in the U.S. when you're out here in the Philippines?
Oh, well, I don't know. I just get it though. I thought I explained it before. I explained it on one of my channels. Is that so? I think in America, an average person who needs help gets like $200 worth of food stamps. Then you just transfer it over into this. Mimi, come here. Come here.
okay, but how are you getting 350 US and benefits and still getting them living outside? How are you still getting benefits when you're not in the country anymore?
I don't know. I think it's a I think it's a loophole then.
I don't think it's a loophole. Here's what I'm going to tell you. And you know something? I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I don't think I am, but I could be. All right. And I don't want to be offensive, but I am very honest.
And man,
All right.
Yeah.
You applied for food stamps and welfare benefits when you were in the U.S. You started collecting them in the U.S. Somebody in the U.S. is still collecting that for you. They convert that into cash, all right? And then they wire transfer to you or MoneyGram or whatever on a monthly basis. Is that what's happening?
I don't know. I just have my like my WIC card. The WIC card.
Yeah, but that doesn't work here in the U.S.
Well, WIC is for children. Do you have children back in the U.S.?
Say hello.
Hello, Mimi.
Okay, you said that it's WIC. How are you collecting WIC? Based on WIC is for women, infants, and children.
Yeah, little come here. Well, 1 second. So again, I do want to thank you guys for having me on. I think it's a very good introduction for me on how the community works, and this is the first time I've been doing any sort of YouTube channel. She's been trying to get me to do it for a while, but that video is bullshit. I just wanted to be a troll, and you guys caught on.
So it is based on. Okay.
No,
so
I don't collect welfare.
Okay, so you don't get welfare, you don't get WIC, you don't get food stamps. You're not living on 350.
So I called that. That he did it just for
I'm looking at Mimi. Okay, and I'll admit you're a young. I guess I don't know. I'm not gay, but I think you're probably an attractive guy. All right. But she could do just fine without 350 US a month. You obviously have an income outside of that.
Well, no, again, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not on the food stamps. I'm not on none of that. I was joking. I was being a troll, and you guys bit the hook.
We didn't bite the hook. We just
it's just covering content for people not to listen to it. So it doesn't matter if you were lying or not. Now, what about her being 14 when you met her? Is that true?
No.
I'm married to a Filipina, and I'm telling you right now, she's not 15, 18. She's in her 20s.
Well, yeah, he said she's 20. No, he said it was 6 years ago. So to
Yeah,
me,
I
this is
know.
all misinformation. Doesn't matter if it's clickbait or not. You're one of those bloggers that are putting out really crazy crap. And it
Yeah.
does lead people to come based on that. And that's the whole point of the live stream.
So
So
Well, that's
whether somebody fell for it or not, somebody will watch that and see that. It's just, I don't know
mm,
why.
mm, mm.
so, but Abel, I want to. How much do you live on, and how do you make a living?
We spend close to maybe 75,000 peso a week. Yeah, we have a very expensive lifestyle. Then, uh, yeah. So when I was younger, so two things happened. When I was younger, I actually did build up a business. I had a wife, and then we broke up. So I have assets up North China, and then at 35 years old, the U.S. military gave me a pension.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's
Uh,
pretty much it.
Yeah, so you're under about 6,000 a month. You're spending US then. All right, so I can't deal no more. So that'll give you guys an idea of what's going on. Is that at that point he continued to lie. A lot of people called him out that he got a pension at 35. He had assets in China. He said he had assets in China. Is that possible for an American to own assets? And I don't know how. I can't say that I do or don't. Also, it doesn't matter if he said he was just trolling and people bought the clickbait because until then, nobody even noticed them. There might have been some people that bought that, like there are a lot of dumb guys like that would have just came. But here's my thing. The only reason he came on our radar is he came in our room. That's not an everyday just whatever. He gave me content. And it's exactly what I said. This is a very narcissistic, outright lying man. And I will say that because not only after he was on our show, they opened up another channel. His other shorts was saying that two or three of the shorts mentioned that she didn't want to pay for lunch or didn't want to pay around this realm. And it showed him at a mall, and then it showed that it was a $300 lunch, and they were like at a regular table for those little cafes that are in the mall. That wasn't a $300. Maybe it was a 300 peso. I know I mix up my words, but everything on the channel is exaggerated. So his exaggeration and the grandiosity way that he says things just didn't make any sense. He's been putting content out. It wasn't to hook us in. It was just a bunch of lies. So it was everything. He couldn't keep up on the WIC and this, and that, and his income 75,000 pesos. So I don't know. I don't know. It's possible, but that he's going through. Yeah, that would be true if his place looked like that. And during his videos, he pans around and there's nothing in the room. Like it's a very small place. The recent birthday party, all these things do not scream that he's spending that kind of money, but who knows? It could all be in the bank. So, yeah. Yeah, 50 to 100 pesos taking your girl out to a bar. Yeah, there's just no way. The things are on the rise here. We go through up to 80 to 100,000 pesos in our house and we don't go traveling. So, yes, it goes into a high electricity bill, rent, groceries, medicine, medical. That includes medical. That includes like pet food, the cat litters, the pet's medicine and pet bills. I mean, these things add up. They would add up in the US. So, the breakdown of, let me see, what the current exchange. Let's see, because yeah, it's under 1,500. So I had to double check 14 to 1,500 US a month. That's 80 to almost 100,000 would be up to 2,000. So that would put it over 100,000 if it's 2,000. So yeah, 14, 1,500. So, and I just, and that's no traveling or anything. So when we go through the budgets, and good morning, our Philippine journey. this guy was trying to build his channel using it. Yes and no, and I really don't care because his channel will never grow. He'll never get monetized, ever, ever. I can guarantee that. So he has to know that. And the reason being is there's a lot of people that have tried that. And if you're a small channel and you put out the same bullshit, I'm still going to cover you whether you're telling the truth. And then I'm just going to say the same thing about you dumbasses. And in this manner, his opening itself, where he's showing a gun at his face and other people holding guns, they'll never monetize that. So he'll never get paid for that channel. And even if he removes it, and if he can ever meet the 3,000 to get sticker watching hours and the 4,000, I'd eat my effing shorts, man, if he ever got those hours based on that. His views show that he's not getting any, and our channel's not going to boost him. Yeah, a few people go look at him now. It's going to be like anybody else that has been through our channel that had a small channel. Yeah, they got a quick boost, like the guy covering Q, John. He got a boost in his channel. I think his video hit 10,000, 9,000. I have to go look where he's at on one of his videos. So that's not going to pay the bills. It's very short-lived, just like some of the other channels that are up there and instances happen in their channel and then it just dies. It's like anything. It's like any celebrity. It's like any channel where they have a moment of fame, like the kid down in Mindanao. I'm sorry, after they announced that they dumped his body and all that, it all died down. What's going on now? His widow is going live almost on a daily basis on Facebook fishing. And here's another thing on an update that she did admit one of those kids were hers for information. During her live stream, she said that the 2 and 3-year-old baby was hers. So she's got kids. So not only did I think he met her when she was under 18, she had a previous relationship. That relationship included a child, according to her words. I'm just going by what she said during her live stream. She answered, yes, the other child is mine. So in saying that, it looks like there could have been a jealous ex involved, as we, said and everything, in Elliot Eastman. And so it's like the channel and the things and the fame all go away, and then you're just left with being stupid. That's just where, I'm sorry, when it came down to the Elliot Eastman, he made so many mistakes, and there were other things being said that he was doing illegal over there. So many different activities, allegedly. And so any of them, including giving money away for loans, was very highly illegal and very dangerous and stupid. It's the same with this guy, except for he's just being stupid. There's no illegal activities except for him drinking beer. Who knows what else the guy does? But he's just another old dude, and you are older than her. You're at least double her age. And that's got her, like, you bounced her into the very narcissistically brought her to put her on your lap to say, hey, it's just a joke, and here she is. And who cares? Thank you for the content. I mean, that's just where it is. And this is, I just, yeah, exactly it. Total loser. It just blows my mind. And like, he went through and he answered, like, every time somebody said something narcissistically, he went in on the channel and did a ha ha ha, like it was and it's, I'm glad that he came through, because it didn't matter if he told the truth or not. It was all lies anyways. I'm even doubting that she's in her 20s. She looks older. It could just be the way she looks. But, she's young, but a lot of people said she looked like she was in her late 20s. So, yeah, definitely. Yeah, the first time around, I didn't know Ormoc, but he puts Ormoc on most everything. You just heard him mention Mindanao, and he mentions Mindanao in his other videos. So I'm not sure what the deal is. Yeah. This is, I said, out of all the channels I covered, this is the worst vlogger that I've ever, like, I've seen where content made no sense, and like every third word was a lie about this doesn't cost nothing. Like, in the beginning, one of those vloggers that are over in, he's now over in Dumageddon, and he's built him a channel based on knowing everybody, including Old Dog. He used to say that he lived on $20 a month worth of groceries. We literally put his crap up, and I'm like, how does one guy, he was claiming this item was this cheap and this cheap. Then we found out his baby mama that he's married since, actually was there with him the whole time. And his budget was so under budget. And I was like, well, what about your travel and your motorcycle and your gas? And you do diving. And they went through the whole, like, none of that. And he was a couple hundred US a month. And I'm like, yeah, there's no possible way. I thought that was a bad video, because not only was he showing one thing and then lying about like costs, he also at that point might have even had a pregnant woman living with him. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. I guess they were just eating rice or something, but he kept saying that he was buying things and going out to eat. And I said, it's impossible. It's an impossible. Right? If he says that he got someone at minor age at part some group tribe, which is under some kind of project of food stamps, there are members of 4P. Yeah, but where? Yeah, it's not. Yeah, no, it had nothing to do with nothing. He said U.S. food stamps. All the programs, Sweet Magic, he was talking about was USA. And there are, so if you're trying to say that I see where you're saying minor age tribe under some food stamp there, or if you're talking about like Native American back in the United States. But the whole thing is he can't send them to the Philippines. What he was trying to say, if it was true, what a lot of us were thinking and saying is that that he's got somebody that's selling them. A lot of Americans are selling it for half the money. They'll take X amount of food stamps, get half of it, or the cash card, and he was having it sent or withdrawn, or he brought the card with him. I mean, it would have possibly been probably, but he said that there was a program here that allowed the transfer, and so all of it, which it's kind of out there. So exactly where we are, family, a 3-child private school, $1,500 a month. We're not rich, but we're not poor. Yeah. That puts us somewhere in middle upper class. Plus we have a little bit of savings. We tend to spend ours self-pay medication, and the pets cost a lot. Like there's never a dull month where we're not buying antibiotics, the flea oils every month. So that way we just don't do a cheap flea collar. And so the pets are what you call semi-guilty pleasure instead of being spent on kids. And then, of course, when holidays come up, that money is depleted. That includes savings. When I say we spend 80 to 100,000, and so it's just where it is. So, all right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I appreciate you guys coming in. Be sure to comment on what's going on. It's Saturday. This was our week's wrap up. Okay, guys. And thank you, Lacaspod, Bobby G, Pablo Chino for the puppy chow money and the kitty chow money. Thank you so much. Thank you to our members that were in the house today. So, of course, Ted was in the house. Let me see. Bobby G was in the house. Thank you. Let's see. And, of course, it's Valentine's Day. Enjoy the rest of your night. That could be why. Thank you guys for coming in, and be sure to subscribe, and we will talk to you guys later and see you. Should be Tuesday. We have stuff going on Monday, so probably Tuesday. So we will both see you on Tuesday. See you guys